All right, so on here, again, we're doing one more review. Like I said, your review is going to, test is going to look very similar to this review because I did the quote from the book this time. This is the only time all year where you one from the book, but it's going to be an all multiple choice. So again, it will look similar. You will have a Scantron like the last few tests. So again, make sure you bring those two formula sheets with because you can use them on the test. Just like on the other sheet that I gave you, number 1 and 18 on this page are not something I'm going to test you on. So 1 and 18, you throw those out, you cross them off, not going to do them. So let's start here with number 2. Identify the figure. What type of figure is that? What type of figure is that? That's a cylinder. All right. So on number 3, identify the shape of a vertical cross section of the figure. So now we say horizontal cross section will always be the same as the base. But what about a vertical cross section? So again, you can either go through it this way or that way, or whatever you want to do, but going through it vertically, what shape would you be left with? Cutting the cylinder open vertically. It'll look like a rectangle. Picture going to do it this way, right? So that purple outline that I just made gives us a rectangle. That's a 2-dimensional plane going through that figure. So it will be a rectangle. Number 4, find the lateral area of an equilateral triangular prism if the area of each lateral face is 10 square meters. So the figure they're talking about, I'm going to draw it over here first. It looks something like this. Now, this one actually sounds harder than it actually is, because if we had this figure, all the lateral faces are actually what? What do we know about all the lateral faces? So that's an equilateral triangle. They're all congruent. So we have 3 congruent faces. All right? So they gave us, it says the area of each lateral face is 10 square centimeters. So we know that each one of these lateral faces is 10. They just want the total lateral area. So what do we have to do? How many lateral faces are there? 3. And they're all 10. So all we're doing is 3 times 10. We get a total of 30. That's our answer. A little bit different style question there. But that's all we had to do. We had 3 lateral faces. All those faces were 10 square units for a total of 30 square units for lateral area. All right, moving on to number 5. The surface area of a rectangular prism is 190 square inches. The length is 10 inches. The width is 3 inches. Find the height. So first, let me draw this. So something like that. They gave us the length is 10, the width is 3, and don't know the height. All right, that's what we want to find. Well, things that we do know. All right, in order to solve for this, we're going to be using the surface area formula. So surface area. Oops. Surface area of this one is found by doing the area, the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base, right? We could also plug in here for lateral area to make this even a little bit simpler. Lateral area is going to be the perimeter of the base times the height. So there's actually a total of 4 different variables that we have here. All right. First, do we know the perimeter? Well, we have 10, we have 3, the backside would also be 10, and this side would also be 3. Add them all up, 10, 3, 10, and 3 gives us 26. We have the perimeter of the base. Do we have the height? No, that's what we're trying to find. Do we have the base area? You know what the base area is? The base is 10 by 3, so the base area should be 30. And then they gave us the surface area was 190. So we have 3 out of the 4 things that we need to plug in for. So plug in for what we know. Perimeter is 26. The height is what we're trying to find. And the base area we just said was 30. So we need to simplify and solve. Start off with a 2 times 30. 2 times 30 is what? 2 times 30 is 60. So now we're trying to get h by itself. Bring the 60 over, subtract it. We're left with 130. 130 equals 26h. How do we get rid of the 26? Divide it. No, it's Monday. Come on. So 130 divided by 26 goes into it evenly. That is our height on this one is 5 inches. All right, for number 6 through 9. Actually, that's a mistake. That should say 6 through 8. 6 through 8. Use a right cylinder with a radius of 5 centimeters and a height of 22 centimeters. Round to nearest 10. All right, let's draw that on the other end here. So we have a cylinder. Height of 22, radius of 5. All right, so there's my face. You always have to draw a figure if you don't have one, just so you can visualize it. So find the lateral area. All right, lateral area of a cylinder. That is circumference times the height. So circumference times height. For circumference, we can plug in the equation for circumference of a circle, which is 2 pi r. The radius here is 5. The height is 22. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 22, 225. Now, that's an exact value. All these answers are rounded. So you have to multiply by pi, which is 3.14. So approximately 3 times that value. Again, I could break out a calculator, but don't really have to. A lot of these answer choices aren't even close to what 3 times this amount would be. All right. So if I look at the answer choices, the only one that makes any sense is H. Right? It's a little bit more than 3 times that amount. So again, a lot of times you could get away without even plugging it in. You got it. The next one, find the surface area. All right. Well, we have the lateral area. We just need to add to that 2 bases. So what's my base area on this one? Well, again, it's a circle. So pi r squared. So pi times 5 squared is 25 pi. Now, combine those two. So surface area equals our lateral area plus 2 times our base area. Lateral area we just said was 220. I always like going back to I when I do this, just so it's easier to add these together and my numbers are more exact in the end. So 2 times 25 is 50. 50 plus 220 is 270. Again, that's an exact value. I need to round my answer. So again, something approximately 3 times that. That's going to be, I believe it's this one. Anybody have a calculator to double check that one? 70. Should be a little bit over a little bit more than 810. So that's the only one that makes sense to me. Like I said, most of these you can do without a calculator because I is just 3.14. So if you multiply by 3, it should be the one that's a little bit more than whatever you did. And that's the one that's closest. So in fact, that's the only one that's even remotely close. Number 8, find the volume. All right, volume, same thing. We have our formula is volume equals base area times height. We already have base area. We found it up here. It was 25 pi. Our height was 22. So 25 times 22, that's going to be 550, I believe, pi. And then that times 3.14, multiply that out, that is going to be 1. Again, take that times 3, it's close. So, any questions on the first set? All right, let me scoot this up so we can get the next. So we get up to 8. Here. So, ready to 8. We're now down here on 9 through 11. We have a new figure to use. It said round to the nearest 10th. This time we're dealing with a cone. Again, lateral area of a cone. Well, there's several formulas that we could use for the lateral area of a cone. The one that's simplified the most was the one that is pi RL. So all we need is a slant height and a radius. Well, guess what? We have a slant height and we have a radius already. We got to do is plug in for this one. Pi times the radius was 3. Slant height was 8. 3 times 8 is 24. So we get 24 pi. So we should have something right around 75. Let's see. Well, that answer is G. Number 11, find the volume. All right, so, oh, wait. I circled on the wrong one. My bad. Let me go back. That's not D. That's 8 on this one. That was lateral area. Number 10 was looking for surface area. So, next thing you have to do for surface area, you have to find the area of your base. So, again, it's a circle. So, pi r squared. The radius again was 3. So, 3 squared is 9. So, we have 9 pi. So, then for surface area, now this only has one base for a cone. So, it's just lateral area plus surface area. Sorry, base area meant. So, the lateral area we found was 24 pi. Base area was 9 pi. Add them up. That's 33 pi. Again, answers are rounded. So take that value, multiply by 3.14. If I had to guess, I'd say it was probably G. And we actually multiply it out. Number 11, find the volume. So this one, volume equals base area times height. Base area, again, we have that. That was 9 pi. The height, wait, we have the height? We have the height? No, we don't have the height. How do we find the height? This is our height. How do we find that? We have 3. We have 8 together. We make a right triangle. It's not a triple, so we're gonna have to use what? Back there. This is a hypotenuse, so 8 squared equals 3 squared plus 8 squared. So the 3 and the 8 are the two legs. The 8 was our C value. 8 squared is 9 squared is, I mean, sorry, 3 squared is 9. Solve for H. 9 over, that's 5. You're gonna get H by itself. 55 is not a perfect square. 7.4. So our H value is roughly 7.4. So now we can plug that in. So 9 pi times 7.4, which is, let's see, that's 6 over 3, 16. Is that right? Oh, I forgot to add 3 back. 63 plus, no. 3 plus 3 is that. All right, well, multiply that out. And you get roughly I'm gonna guess J. No, it'd be C. Yeah, that's closer. C. All right, next. Let's clear those off. Okay. Clear. Go to the next page. Select that. All right, on this side, lateral area of a cube is 324 centimeters. Find the volume of the cube. All right, again, we have a cube. So since we have a cube, how many sides does the cube have? 6 sides. How many of those are lateral? Would be lateral area? Well, lateral area is everything but the bases, right? So you're gonna have 2 that act as bases, the rest are lateral area. So on here, you have, this is the lateral area of the cube, which makes up 4 of our sides. So an easier way to do this than putting into our lateral area formula. We have that 324, since it represents 4 of our sides, divided by 4, you get 81. That means each side on here is 81 square units. All right. So every single side is 81 square units. It says find the volume. Well, that 81 includes everything. Even the bases are going to be 81. So for our volume formula, which is base area times height, our base area will be 81. What's our height going to be? Well, if all these sides are squares, the area is 81. What are my 2 sides? What times itself gives me 81? So all the sides here are 9. 81 times 9, 729 is H. Our next one, find the volume of the solid. All right, this one's a little bit different. What does it look like? Half of a semicircle? Half of a cylinder? I do think it looks like part of a cylinder. I don't think it looks like half of it. Quarter. All right. So on here, our volume formula for a cylinder is base area, which is pi r squared, times height. But we only have a quarter, so all we have to do is multiply by a quarter, 1/4. So looking at our values, we have everything. They gave us a radius, they gave us a height. 1/4. The radius here was 4, so pi 4 squared. The height was 10. Multiply it out. We get 4 squared is 16, divided by 4, we're back to 4. 4 times 10 is 40. So we get 40 pi. And if we multiply that out, that's roughly 125.7. 14. A right triangular pyramid is 12 meters high and a base with legs that are 3 and 4 meters long. Find the volume of the triangle. Sorry, find the volume of the triangular pyramid. So a triangular pyramid. All right. Work right here. Volume equals base times height normally, but when it's a pyramid or a cone, it comes to a point. So what else do I need in there besides base and height? That'd be for prism, pyramid, one extra piece there. What do I have to put here? Close, 1/3. When we're doing the volume of a pyramid or the volume of a cone, it's gonna be 1/3 base area times height. So now, this is a triangular pyramid. So for our base, we got to plug in the formula for a triangle. So 1/2 base times height. So I got 3 values to plug in here. And guess how many values they gave me? 3. So I have the 2 dimensions for the pyramid, except for the triangle, were 3 and 4. Doesn't matter which one you plug in where. And then the height they gave me was 12. So you can do this a couple different ways, but 1/2 of 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So far, that's what I got. 1/3 of 6 is now 2. And that's multiplication still. 2 times 12 is 24. All right, number 15. Find the volume of the cone round to the nearest 10. Well, looking at this, they gave me the height, which is something that I need. But I also need the radius. Do they give me a radius? They don't have it labeled. However, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So what's true about the 2 legs of a 45, 45, 90 triangle? Same. So that's 27. This is also 27. So I actually do have my radius. This is also 27. So volume of the cone. Volume equals, same thing that we just did over there, 1/3 base area times height. Well, 1/3 base area here, again in the circle. 27. Square. Times our height. 27. 27 squared, that's also 729. And 7 is really big. This is 729. Let's do 1/3 of 27. 1/3 of 27 is going to give us 9. So then we have really big numbers. Let's see. We have 1. We have 18. 65, 61 pi. And then we're multiplying it by pi, which is going to be a really big number. This is the only thing I see close to it, so it must be B. Somebody that has a calculator. Where I put my calculator? but I believe it should be B. All right. Number 16, the surface area of a sphere is 64 pi centimeters. Find the radius. All right, so for the sphere, our formula is going to be 4 pi r squared. They gave us the surface area is 64 pi. We are looking for the radius, so we don't know what that is yet. We have to solve for it. So first, divide off pi from both sides. They cancel off. Then get rid of the 4. Divide both sides by 4. And we end up with 16 equals r squared. R backs up by taking the square root. And our radius is 4. Out of room there, so let me move this up. Just did 16. On 17, a sphere has a 48 centimeter diameter. Find the volume of the sphere, round to the nearest 10. Wow, so that's the diameter. That means that the radius is going to be half of that, which is 24. So they want the volume. Volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Plug it in. 4/3 pi 4 cubed. All right. Definitely should use a calculator on this one because it's going to be a really big number. Third power times by 4 and divided by 3. And then finally, multiplied by pi. Around 8. And that is answer B. All right. 18 was the other one that I said you could skip over. 19, find the scale factor between the two similar tones. All right, well, from 3 to 6, that reduces to 1/2. Or if I did 8/16, that also reduces to 1/2. So my ratio is 1 to 2. The ratio of the heights of two similar solids is 6 to 11. Find the ratio of their surface areas. Well, if our scale factor is 6/11, then our surface area ratio, or the area ratio, will be those values squared. So that's 36 and 121 is G. And the last one, find the surface area of. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky. It's we have this shape that looks like a square pyramid with the top cut off. So we're gonna have to find the volume of the big pyramid if this kept going. All right. And then we're gonna have to find the area of what's not there and subtract them. So that one was a little bit tricky, but what time is Dory? Okay. Won't have time to finish that one. I'll put the final correct answer up there. Almost got to do everything. Again, make sure you bring your reference sheets for tomorrow.